A bold prediction. The pocket telephone prophecy of 1908. In the early 20th century, communication was primarily limited to wired telephones, telegrams, and written correspondence. The idea of a personal, portable communication device seemed like a fantastical notion, firmly lodged in the realm of science fiction. In 1908, Hampton's magazine, an American periodical, defied conventional wisdom with a daring prediction. When the expectations of wireless experts are realized, everyone will have his own pocket telephone and may be called wherever he happens to be. This audacious statement anticipated a future where personal communication devices would transcend the confines of the home or office. At the heart of Hampton's prophetic statement was the burgeoning field of wireless communication. The pioneers of wireless technology, such as Guglielmo Marconi, had made significant strides in sending telegraphic signals without the need for physical wires. This innovation laid the groundwork for the wireless communication revolution that would transform how people connected with each other. Hampton's magazine envisioned a world where individuals, armed with pocket telephones, could be reached wherever they roamed. This vision departed from the stationary nature of traditional telephones, hinting at a future where communication would be untethered from physical locations. In 1908, the idea of a pocket telephone faced skepticism and numerous challenges. The technology needed to miniaturize communication devices and make them truly portable was in its infancy. The components required for wireless communication were still evolving, and the concept of a personal device that could fit in one's pocket seemed like a distant dream. Fast forward several decades, and Hampton's magazine's audacious prediction became a reality: the advent of mobile phones, particularly the widespread adoption of cellular technology in the late 20th century, turned the once bold prophecy into an everyday convenience. Personal pocket telephones evolved from visionary speculation to an integral part of modern life. Hampton's magazine's foresight in 1908 stands as a testament to the power of visionary thinking. The audacious prediction not only anticipated the trajectory of technological advancements, but also played a role in shaping the collective imagination. It serves as a reminder that, even in eras when certain innovations seem implausible, bold predictions can inspire and pave the way for future breakthroughs. The daring prophecy of pocket telephones in 1908 by Hampton's magazine wasn't just a statement about technology. It was a glimpse into the transformative power of imagination. As we reflect on the once unimaginable evolution from wired telephones to ubiquitous pocket-sized communication devices, Hampton's audacious prediction stands as a beacon of visionary thinking that reshaped the way we connect and communicate in the modern world.
Certainly, here's a gentle and soothing bedtime story titled The Dreamcatcher's Lullaby. Welcome to Short Stories Galore, the home of captivating short stories. Once upon a time, in a small cottage nestled at the edge of a tranquil forest, there lived a little girl named Lily. Lily had eyes as bright as the morning sun and a heart filled with wonder. She loved exploring the woods, chasing butterflies, and listening to the rustle of leaves in the breeze. Every evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Lily's grandmother, whom she affectionately called Nana, would tell her stories. These were not just any stories. They were stories of magic, wonder, and dreams. Nana had a way of weaving tales that made Lily's heart dance with delight. One warm summer evening, as a fire crackled in the hearth and the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Nana began a special story. "Lily, my dear," she said in her gentle, soothing voice, "tonight I shall tell you the tale of the Dreamcatcher's lullaby." Lily's eyes widened with anticipation as she settled into her favorite chair. Nana's voice was like a soft melody, a comforting embrace that wrapped around her heart. Long ago, Nana began, in a land where dreams held a magic all their own, there lived a young girl named Elara. Elara had a gift that set her apart from others. She could see the dreams that danced in the night sky, each one a star of its own. Lily listened with rapt attention as Nana continued, "You see, my dear, in this enchanting land, dreams were not just the images that visited us as we slept. They were delicate, glowing orbs that floated above the trees, their colors and patterns telling stories of joy, hope, and adventure." Elara, with her sparkling eyes and heart full of curiosity, had always been fascinated by these dreams. She would spend her evenings lying in the soft grass, watching as dreams drifted above her, their soft melodies like a lullaby for her soul. One evening, Nana continued, Elara noticed a dream unlike any she had ever seen. It was a dream that glowed with a brilliant, silvery light, and it sang a melody that seemed to call to her. It was the Dreamcatcher's lullaby. Lily's eyelids grew heavy as Nana's words washed over her like a gentle wave. She could almost hear the sweet melody of the Dreamcatcher's lullaby in her mind. Elara decided to follow this special dream, Nana whispered. She followed it deep into the heart of the forest, where the trees whispered secrets and the fireflies danced in the night. There, she discovered a magical glade, bathed in the soft light of the dream, and in the center of it all hung a wondrous creation, the Dreamcatcher. Nana's voice was a lullaby itself, a soothing rhythm that carried Lily into the heart of the story. She could picture Elara in that enchanted glade, surrounded by the soft glow of dreams and the gentle rustle of leaves. The Dreamcatcher was a magnificent creation, Nana continued. It was woven from the finest threads of moonlight and stardust, and its intricate patterns shimmered like spider webs glistening with dew. From its center hung a single, radiant dream, the Dreamcatcher's lullaby. As Nana described the Dreamcatcher, Lily's eyelids grew heavier still, and she felt herself drifting into a world of dreams within the story. Elara approached the Dreamcatcher with a heart full of wonder. Nana whispered. She reached out to touch the silvery dream, and as her fingers brushed its surface, she felt a surge of warmth and comfort. It was as if the dream itself had wrapped its gentle arms around her. Lily's breathing became slow and rhythmic, mirroring the calmness of the forest in Nana's tale. From that day forward, Nana said, Elara became the guardian of the dreamcatcher. She would visit the glade every evening, listening to the dreamcatcher's lullaby and sharing her own dreams with the magical creation. The dreamcatcher, in turn, would weave those dreams into its delicate patterns, creating a tapestry of hope and joy. Lily was now deep in the world of dreams, her own thoughts mingling with the story as she surrendered to the soothing embrace of Nana's voice. Time passed, my dear, Nana whispered, and Elara grew old, but her heart remained as young as ever. And so, on one magical evening, as she listened to the dreamcatcher's lullaby, she closed her eyes and surrendered to a dream of her own, a dream of dancing among the stars and becoming one with the very sky. As Nana's voice faded into the quiet of the night, Lily had drifted into a peaceful slumber. In her dreams, she danced among the stars, just as Elara had, feeling the soft glow of dreams wrap around her like a warm, comforting blanket. And so, beneath the starry sky and the watchful eyes of the forest, Lily slept, her dreams filled with the magic of the dreamcatcher's lullaby and the gentle, soothing voice of Nana, the keeper of stories and dreams. Moral of the story: dreams have the power to transport us to magical realms, where the boundaries of reality blur, and our hearts find solace and wonder. Just as Elara cherished and nurtured the dreams she discovered, we too should embrace the beauty of our dreams, both while we're awake and as we slumber. The dreamcatcher's lullaby reminds us that dreams are precious gifts that offer us hope, comfort, and a connection to the enchanting world of the imagination. So, let your dreams take flight, for in them, you may discover the magic that resides within your own heart. Thanks for listening to my story. I'll tell you another story next time. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
The history of your grand old flag. In the early 20th century, the United States was a country on the move. The spirit of patriotism and national pride was running high, and George M. Cohan, a prolific songwriter and entertainer, wanted to capture that enthusiasm in a musical composition. The result was a song that would become a cherished part of American culture, You're a Grand Old Flag. Cohan, known as the man who owned Broadway, was a powerhouse in the world of American entertainment. He had a knack for writing catchy, spirited tunes that resonated with the public. In 1906, He penned a song titled "You're a Grand Old Rag" for his Broadway musical George Washington, Jr. The song was an instant hit, capturing the patriotic fervor of the times. The title "You're a Grand Old Rag" was, however, a bit unconventional. At the heart of the song was a tribute to the American flag, but Cohen used the word rag in the title, referring to a tattered flag. This choice of words caused some controversy, as it was seen by some as disrespectful to the flag. Nevertheless, the song's infectious melody and spirited lyrics resonated with audiences, and it quickly gained popularity. People across the country wanted to play and sing this patriotic anthem at home, and the primary way to do so was to obtain the sheet music. In the early 20th century, the piano was a common source of entertainment in households, and families would gather around the piano to sing and play the latest songs. This was how new music was shared and enjoyed. The demand for "You're a Grand Old Rag" sheet music was immense, and it became a staple in many American homes. Families would trade, borrow, and collect sheet music to add to their piano benches, ensuring that they had the latest tunes at their fingertips. As the popularity of the song continued to grow, George M. Cohen decided to address the controversy surrounding the title. He changed the title to "You're a Grand Old Flag" to be more in line with patriotic sentiment and to avoid any potential offense. The change was made not long after the song's initial release, and it was a wise decision as it further endeared the song to the American public. "You're a Grand Old Flag" soon became a staple at parades, celebrations, and patriotic events across the nation. It captured the essence of American patriotism and love for the flag. The song's lyrics, with lines like "You're a grand old flag," "You're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave," resonated with the enduring American spirit. Today, "You're a Grand Old Flag" remains a cherished national treasure. It is often performed at events celebrating American independence, and its catchy tune and patriotic lyrics continue to inspire and uplift the American people. George M. Cohen's composition, born out of a desire to capture the national pride of the era, has become a timeless symbol of love for the United States and its flag. The Wright Brothers' Triumph, A Journey to the Skies. Once upon a time, in a windswept corner of Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, the brothers dared to dream of soaring among the birds. Orville and Wilbur Wright, known to many as bicycle makers, were consumed by a passionate obsession. Flight. Their journey began not with wings but with wheels. The Wright brothers, hailing from Dayton, Ohio, had always been tinkerers. They built bicycles with meticulous precision, their mechanical aptitude unrivaled, but their dreams soared higher. They yearned to conquer the skies, to achieve what had eluded humans for centuries: powered, controlled flight. The brothers chose Kitty Hawk for its strong, consistent winds and a vast stretch of sandy dunes, ideal for testing their flying machines. It was here, in 1900, that they conducted their first glider experiments, with Wilbur guiding the unwieldy contraption through the air. These initial trials taught them that they needed a powered solution. But how does one build an engine light enough to lift off the ground? In their bicycle shop, they tinkered endlessly, eventually constructing a lightweight and efficient engine, propellers, and the biplane design. They were on the cusp of realizing their dreams. The chilly morning of December 17th, 1903, toned with anticipation and apprehension. A crowd of curious onlookers gathered as the Wright brothers wheeled their flyer, a biplane with a 12-horsepower engine, to the takeoff point. Orville assumed the pilot's seat with Wilbur at his side, ready to assist. With bated breath, the engine roared to life, and the flyer rumbled down the wooden launch rail in a heartbeat. It was airborne, and Orville had become the first human to pilot a powered, controlled, heavier-than-air flight. He remained in the air for a mere 12 seconds, covering a distance of 120 feet. The flyer touched down, and history was made. With the taste of success, the Wright brothers were unstoppable. They made several more flights that momentous day, each one longer and more control than the last. Wilbur and Orville took turns at the controls, flying multiple times. The longest flight of the day covered 850 feet in 59 seconds. News of their achievement spread like wildfire. The world was introduced to the age of aviation. The Wright brothers' meticulous research, innovative design, and fearless determination had paid off in grand fashion. The Wright brothers' first powered flight at Kitty Hawk in 1903 marked a turning point in history. Their invention opened the door to the skies, shaping the world of transportation and communication. Over the years, their pioneering efforts laid the foundation for modern aviation, leading to advancements that would take humanity to the moon and beyond. The brothers' flyer, once a wooden and canvas marvel, now rests in the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum, a symbol of the indomitable human spirit and the limitless bounds of human invention. And so the tale of Orville and Wilbur Wright, the bicycle makers from Dayton, Ohio, became a testament to human ingenuity and determination. Their legacy is a reminder that with a dream, dedication, and a relentless pursuit of the impossible, we can touch the skies and achieve greatness. This story narrates the incredible journey of the Wright brothers, from their humble beginnings as bicycle makers to their historic achievement in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. It celebrates their spirit of innovation and their unyielding determination to conquer the skies, leaving a lasting legacy in the annals of human history. An unforgivable tragedy. The Herero and Nama genocide. In the annals of history, certain events stand as stark reminders of the darkest aspects of human nature. The Herero and Nama genocide is one such chapter, a harrowing tale of colonization, oppression, and brutality that unfolded in what is now Namibia during the early 20th century. This extensive story takes you back to those bleak times, providing a comprehensive account of the events the people involved, and the enduring impact of this unforgivable tragedy. The Herero and Nama genocide did not emerge in isolation, but against the backdrop of Europe's colonial ambitions in Africa. The late 19th century witnessed a scramble for Africa, with European powers eager to carve up the continent for their economic gain. Among them, Imperial Germany sought to establish its presence in what was then German Southwest Africa, now Namibia. Central to our story are the Herero and Nama peoples, indigenous communities who had inhabited these lands for centuries. They had their languages, cultures, and traditions, living in relative harmony with the land. With the arrival of German colonial forces, the stage was set for a disastrous clash of cultures and ambitions. German settlers coveted the land, primarily for its potential as a source of wealth and prosperity. This desire for land and resources fueled conflicts and confrontations. The spark for the Herero and Nama genocide can be traced to the 1904 Herero uprising, facing oppression, land dispossession, and violence at the hands of German settlers and soldiers. The Herero people, under the leadership of Samuel Maherero, took up arms. This rebellion set in motion a series of events that would lead to catastrophic consequences. The German response to the Herero rebellion was swift and brutal. Under the command of General Lothar von Trotha, the colonial forces waged a ruthless campaign, leading to atrocities that haunt the historic record. The violence and displacement of the Herero and Nama peoples are deeply unsettling chapters in this history. As conflict escalated, General von Trotha issued an ominous order that would become infamous, the Extermination Order. The atrocities that followed included mass killings, forced labor, displacement, and inhumane conditions in concentration camps. Thousands of Herero and Nama people perished, and those who survived faced unimaginable suffering. In recent years, there have been efforts to acknowledge this dark chapter in history. The German government officially recognized the events as genocide, offering a formal apology and financial reparations to the descendants of the victims. This recognition is an essential step in acknowledging the lasting impact of this tragedy on the Herero and Nama communities. The Herero and Nama genocide stands as a sobering reminder of the horrors of colonialism and unchecked power. This extensive story aims to shed light on the events and their enduring legacy, emphasizing the importance of understanding and remembering this dark period in history. Pioneering Excellence. The Inspiring Journey of Daniel Hale Williams. In the annals of American history, there are individuals whose remarkable achievements leave an indelible mark, not only on their generation, but on generations to come. Daniel Hale Williams, an African-American surgeon, is one such luminary figure whose pioneering spirit and dedication to his craft continue to inspire. This extensive story unveils the extraordinary life and accomplishments of a man who broke barriers and saved lives against all odds. Born on January 18, 1856, in Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania, Daniel Hale Williams grew up in a time when racial discrimination was rampant in the United States. His father was a barber, and his mother was a domestic servant. And while their means were modest, they valued education. Williams attended the predominantly black and Cell School, and later the integrated O'Reilly School, where his intellectual prowess became evident. The path to becoming a surgeon was a steep and challenging one for African Americans in the late 19th century. Williams' unwavering commitment led him to Janesville, Wisconsin, where he worked as an apprentice to a local surgeon. There, he learned the fundamentals of surgical procedures, but his aspiration went beyond what the small town could offer. The windy city of Chicago beckoned, and Williams arrived in 1883. He began working as a barber, but his dreams lay in medicine. In 1887, he pursued further education at Chicago Medical College, now Northwestern University Medical School, facing racial discrimination in the process. Graduating in 1889, Williams became one of the first African Americans to earn a medical degree and be licensed as a physician in the state of Illinois. Williams worked at several medical facilities in Chicago, eventually opening his own practice. His commitment to providing medical care to underserved communities, especially African Americans, was unwavering. At a time when racial segregation was the norm, Williams opened a racially integrated hospital, providing care to patients regardless of their racial or ethnic backgrounds. On July 9, 1893, Dr. Daniel Hale Williams achieved a historic milestone in the field of medicine. He successfully performed open-heart surgery on James Cornish, a young man who had suffered a life-threatening stab wound. Without the benefits of modern medical technology, Williams operated, repaired the pericardium, and sutured the wound in the patient's heart. This groundbreaking achievement marked one of the earliest known successful open-heart surgeries. Williams went on to establish the Providence Hospital and training school for nurses in Chicago in 1891, becoming the first African-American controlled hospital. His commitment to providing health care and education made an enduring impact. Williams also co-founded the National Medical Association, an organization dedicated to promoting the interests of African American physicians. In 1913, Daniel Hale Williams was recognized for his remarkable contributions with the designation of Fellow from the American College of Surgeons, a notable distinction during a time of significant racial discrimination. He passed away on August 4, 1931, leaving behind a legacy of excellence, perseverance, and service to the medical field. The story of Dr. Daniel Hale Williams is a testament to the power of determination, a thirst for knowledge, and an unwavering commitment to serving others. His pioneering spirit in the field of medicine not only saved lives, but also blazed a trail for future generations of African American physicians. Daniel Hale Williams' legacy is a shining example of the transformative potential of individual excellence and the enduring impact it can have on society. The Antiquities Act, preserving America's natural and cultural treasures. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the United States was undergoing significant changes. Industrialization was transforming the landscape, and with the westward expansion, there was a growing awareness of the need to protect the nation's natural and cultural treasures. It was during this time that the Antiquities Act, a groundbreaking piece of legislation, was born. The Antiquities Act, passed into law on June 8, 1906, was the brainchild of President Theodore Roosevelt, an avid outdoorsman and conservationist, was deeply concerned about the rapid destruction of the country's unique landscapes and historic sites. He realized the need for a legal framework that would allow the president to preserve public lands as national monuments. The Antiquities Act granted the President of the United States the authority to designate national monuments on federal lands. These national monuments were to be areas of historical, cultural, scientific, or natural significance. The Act provided a mechanism for the swift protection of these areas without the need for congressional approval. One of the key provisions of the Antiquities Act was its flexibility. It allowed for the preservation of places that were not only of historic or scientific value, but also those with natural beauty and recreational opportunities. The Act recognized the importance of protecting the nation's diverse landscapes and cultural heritage. President Roosevelt wasted no time in utilizing the new law. Within months of its passage, he designated Devil's Tower in Wyoming as the first national monument. This iconic geological formation became the precedent for the preservation of natural wonders across the country. Under President Roosevelt's leadership, several more national monuments were designated, including the Grand Canyon in Arizona. The Antiquities Act empowered subsequent presidents to continue this legacy of conservation and protection. Over the years, the Antiquities Act has been used by nearly every U.S. president to protect areas of national significance. The Act played a pivotal role in the creation of iconic national parks like Zion, Bryce Canyon, and Acadia. It also allowed for the preservation of historical sites, such as the Statue of Liberty and the Harriet Tubman Underground Railroad National Historical Park. While the Antiquities Act has been a powerful tool for conservation, it has not been without its share of controversies. Some have argued that its use gives too much power to the president and bypasses the legislative process. As a result, there have been amendments and attempts to limit the Act's scope. However, the fundamental purpose of preserving America's treasures has remained a guiding principle. The Antiquities Act has left an indelible mark on the American landscape. It has allowed for the protection of natural wonders, cultural landmarks, and historical sites that define the nation. From the towering redwoods of California to the ancient cliff dwellings of the Southwest, the Act has ensured that these treasures are preserved for future generations to enjoy. Today, the Antiquities Act continues to be a critical tool for conservation and preservation. It reflects the enduring commitment of the United States to safeguard its rich heritage and natural beauty. as the country faces new challenges related to environmental conservation and cultural preservation. The Antiquities Act remains a beacon of hope, ensuring that America's remarkable legacy endures. The Antiquities Act stands as a testament to the vision and foresight of those who sought to protect America's natural and cultural heritage. Its legacy is one of preservation, conservation, and the belief that some places are so significant that they deserve to be safeguarded for all time. It is a reminder that, in the face of change and progress, there is a duty to protect the irreplaceable and cherish the unique. The story of the Antiquities Act is a story of stewardship, commitment, and the enduring love for the American landscape. It is a story that continues to unfold as new generations take up the mantle of conservation, ensuring that the nation's treasures remain protected and celebrated. The First Moroccan Crisis, prelude to European turmoil. In the annals of history, the First Moroccan Crisis stands as a pivotal event that brought the European powers to the brink of war and reshaped the dynamics of international diplomacy in the early 20th century. The late 19th and early 20th centuries were marked by intense rivalries among the major European powers. Imperialism and colonial expansion were at their zenith, and the scramble for overseas territories often led to tensions and confrontations. The continent was divided into two major alliance systems: the Triple Entente, comprising France, Russia, and the United Kingdom, and the Triple Alliance, including Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. Against this backdrop, the focus of the world's attention shifted to the North African Kingdom of Morocco. This nation, with its strategic location and resources, was a coveted prize for European colonial powers. France had long established interests in Morocco, while Germany, under Kaiser Wilhelm II, pursued an aggressive policy of Weltpolitik, or world politics. This policy aimed at expanding Germany's influence and colonies worldwide, often challenging the existing order and provoking tensions. The First Moroccan Crisis began in March 1905. When Kaiser Wilhelm II arrived in Morocco, he declared his support for Moroccan sovereignty, ostensibly in opposition to French influence, but with underlying imperial ambitions. The sudden appearance of the German emperor on Moroccan soil triggered alarm and suspicion among the other European powers, especially France. France, as a long-time stakeholder in Morocco, viewed Germany's actions as a direct challenge to its interests. Diplomatic tensions escalated as both nations flexed their military muscles. The international community held its breath, fearing a full-scale war in Europe. The crisis took a more diplomatic turn with the convening of the Algeciras Conference in 1906. This conference, held in Algeciras, Spain, aimed to resolve the Moroccan question peacefully. It involved 13 European powers and the United States, serving as an impartial mediator. The deliberations at the conference ultimately favored France. The outcome of the Algeciras Conference reinforced French influence in Morocco, but it did not quell the underlying tensions between the major powers. The episode highlighted the fragility of the balance of power and the potential for conflicts to erupt in Europe. The first Moroccan crisis demonstrated the fragility of the international order and the potential for major conflicts among the European powers. While it did not lead to a full-scale war, it set the stage for subsequent crises that would culminate in the cataclysmic events of World War I. This crisis also underscored the complex web of alliances and entanglements that bound the European powers. The tensions between France and Germany would continue to fester, contributing to the broader instability in the years that followed. In hindsight, the first Moroccan crisis serves as a warning about the dangers of nationalist ambitions, imperialism, and a lack of effective diplomacy. It was a prelude to the turbulent period that would define the early 20th century. The echoes of this crisis would reverberate through history, reminding us of the perils of geopolitical brinkmanship and the importance of peaceful conflict resolution in a rapidly changing world. I hope you enjoyed this extensive story on the first Moroccan crisis. All you history enthusiasts, English learners, and bedtime listeners. Revolutionizing railways. The birth of electric trains. In the late 19th century, the world was undergoing a major technological transformation. The Industrial Revolution had already changed the way people lived and worked, and the next frontier was transportation. Steam locomotives had been the primary mode of railway transportation for decades, but engineers and inventors were constantly seeking newer, more efficient methods. The key innovation that would revolutionize rail transport was the development of electric trains. Unlike their steam-powered predecessors, electric trains did not rely on burning fossil fuels to produce steam. Instead, they harnessed the power of electricity, making them more environmentally friendly and efficient. The story of the first electric trains is closely tied to the development of electrical engineering. One of the pioneers in this field was the brilliant inventor and engineer Werner von Siemens in the late 1870s. Siemens developed the world's first electric railway in Berlin, Germany. This pioneering effort laid the foundation for the future of electric train travel. The first electric trains were powered by overhead electrical lines which transmitted electricity to the locomotives via a pantograph, a mechanism that made contact with the wires. These early electric trains were small, but they marked a significant step forward in the history of railway transportation. The success of these experimental electric trains led to the development of more extensive electric rail networks in urban areas. Some of the earliest electrified rail lines included the Lichterfelde Tramway in Berlin and the Portrush to Belfast Railway in Ireland, both of which began operation in the late 19th century. However, it wasn't until the early 20th century that electric trains began to see widespread adoption. The electrification of urban transit systems became a common practice in major cities worldwide, from New York to London to Tokyo. Electric trains provided cleaner and more efficient transportation, helping to alleviate the pollution and noise associated with steam locomotives. One of the most iconic early electric trains was the Metropolitan Vickers in England, which started running on the London Underground's District Line in 1905. This event marked a significant milestone in the history of electric train travel, as it showcased the practicality and efficiency of electric propulsion. Electric trains were not limited to urban transit. Electrification of mainline railways became more prevalent as well, leading to faster and more reliable long-distance train travel. The famous Pennsylvania Railroad in the United States was a pioneer in electrifying its tracks, introducing electric locomotives to its network in the early 20th century. The development of electric trains also brought about significant advances in electrical engineering. Engineers had to design efficient electrical systems, overhead wires, and substations to power the trains, all of which contributed to the growing field of electrical infrastructure. As the 20th century progressed, electric trains continued to evolve. High-speed electric trains, such as the Japanese Shinkansen and the French TGV, redefine long-distance rail travel. These modern electric trains are known for their speed, efficiency, and environmental benefits. The electrification of railways is still ongoing in many parts of the world, with a growing emphasis on sustainability. Many countries are transitioning from traditional fossil fuels to cleaner sources of electricity, such as wind, solar, and hydroelectric power, to power their electric train networks. In conclusion, the development of the first electric trains represented a significant turning point in the history of transportation. These trains offered a cleaner, more efficient, and environmentally friendly alternative to steam locomotives, ultimately shaping the future of rail travel and paving the way for the high-speed electric trains we know today. The journey from Werner von Siemens' early experiments to the sleek electric trains of the 21st century is a testament to human innovation and the drive to improve the way we move people and goods. I hope you find this extensive story about the first electric trains both informative and engaging. The melting pot, a cauldron of stirring and seething. At the turn of the 20th century, the United States was experiencing a significant influx of immigrants from diverse cultural backgrounds. The metaphor of the melting pot emerged as a powerful expression to describe the assimilation of these various groups into a unified American identity. In 1908, playwright and novelist Israel Zangwill penned the play The Melting Pot. In this work, the metaphor took on a vivid and dynamic form to Zangwill. The melting pot wasn't a gentle simmering pot of stew. It was a cauldron, roaring and bubbling, as he wrote, stirring and seething. This evocative imagery captured the intense process of cultural amalgamation and transformation occurring in the crucible of American society. The melting pot symbolized the idea that immigrants, upon entering the United States, would undergo a process of cultural blending. All traditions, languages, and customs would meld together to form a new American identity. The metaphor suggested a harmonious fusion of diverse elements, creating a singular national character. While the melting pot metaphor conveyed a sense of unity and assimilation, it also sparked debate and critique. Some argue that it oversimplified the complexity of immigrant experiences and ignored the challenges and sacrifices involved in acculturation. Critics pointed out that the metaphor implied a one-way process, where diverse cultures melted into a dominant mold, potentially erasing unique identities. Zangwill's choice of words, stirring and seething, captured the dynamism and tensions within the melting pot. The process of cultural amalgamation wasn't passive. It involved active engagement, negotiation, and sometimes conflict. Different cultural elements were stirred together, creating a complex mixture that shaped the evolving American identity. Different cultural elements were stirred together, creating a complex mixture that shaped the evolving American identity. Over the decades, the metaphor of the melting pot remained a central theme in discussions about American identity. However, evolving perspectives began to emphasize the idea of a salad bowl or mosaic, recognizing the value of maintaining distinct cultural elements within the broader American tapestry. In contemporary discourse, discussions about cultural diversity and inclusion often acknowledge the ongoing challenges of achieving a harmonious blend. The metaphor of the melting pot has been reinterpreted to reflect a more nuanced understanding of cultural interactions, with an emphasis on mutual respect, coexistence, and the celebration of diversity. Israel Zangwill's portrayal of the melting pot as a roaring cauldron, stirring and seething, encapsulated the dynamic and sometimes tumultuous nature of cultural assimilation in the early 20th century. While the metaphor sparked important conversations about identity and unity, its legacy endures in the ongoing exploration of how diverse cultures shape and enrich the American experience. Deeds, not words. The formation of the Women's Social and Political Union. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, women's rights and suffrage were topics of growing importance. Women in the United Kingdom, like in many other parts of the world, were pushing for political representation and social change. Recognizing the need for a united and impactful movement, a group of women came together to establish the Women's Social and Political Union WSPU. This organization would go on to play a pivotal role in the fight for women's suffrage in the UK. Emmeline Pankhurst, a remarkable and charismatic woman, emerged as a prominent leader in the suffrage movement. She was instrumental in forming the WSPU and became its first president. Her passion and determination inspired countless women to join the cause. The WSPU adopted the slogan "Deeds, not words," reflecting their commitment to direct action and civil disobedience. Members of the union engaged in a variety of tactics to draw attention to the suffrage cause, from protests and marches to acts of civil disobedience. WSPU members, known as suffragettes, were willing to take bold and sometimes controversial actions to advance their cause. They faced arrests, imprisonment, and force-feeding while protesting for their right to vote. The British government responded to the suffragette actions with measures like the Cat and Mouse Act. Under this law, hunger-striking suffragettes in prison were released to recover their health, only to be rearrested once they were fit for imprisonment again. The suffrage movement was not limited to the UK. Women worldwide were fighting for their rights. The WSPU and its leaders maintained connections with other suffrage organizations, contributing to a global network of activists. The outbreak of World War I brought new opportunities. Women's contributions to the war effort highlighted their capabilities, and in 1918, the Representation of the People Act granted women over 30 the right to vote. The Women's Social and Political Union left an enduring legacy. Their dedication and resilience were instrumental in paving the way for women's suffrage and increased gender equality. The fight for equal rights continues today, guided by the spirit of those early suffragettes. While significant progress has been made, the struggle for gender equality is ongoing. The Women's Social and Political Union's legacy inspires current and future generations to advocate for a more inclusive and just society. The birth of the modern cinema. The Electric Theater's historic debut in 1902. In the bustling city of Los Angeles, California, the year 1902 marked a turning point in the world of entertainment. It was the year when the first modern movie theater, the Electric Theater, opened its doors to a curious and eager public. The tale of this historic event not only shaped the course of entertainment, but also left an indelible mark on the global cultural landscape. At the heart of this story stands a visionary entrepreneur, Thomas L. Talley, a shrewd businessman with a passion for cutting-edge technology. Talley had a vision of transforming the way people experienced entertainment. In an era when vaudeville acts and Nickelodeons dominated the entertainment scene, Talley dared to dream bigger. He believed in the potential of a relatively new medium called moving pictures. Los Angeles in the early 20th century was a city on the rise. Its population was growing and the urban landscape was rapidly evolving. As the city expanded, so did its appetite for novel forms of entertainment. Amidst this backdrop, Talley saw an opportunity to introduce something entirely revolutionary. Thomas Talley's vision took the form of the Electric Theater, a purpose-built, permanent movie theater. It was a bold endeavor, as nothing like it had been attempted before. Talley was not simply content with showing moving pictures. In a makeshift venue, he aimed to create a dedicated space for this exciting new medium. On April 2, 1902, the Electric Theater opened its doors to a curious and intrigued public. Located on Main Street in Los Angeles, it was a modest yet inviting venue. The admission fee was set at a modest 10 cents. making it accessible to a broad spectrum of the city's residents. As evening descended, the first patrons entered the Electric Theater with a sense of anticipation and wonder. They had heard whispers of this new form of entertainment, where images came to life on a screen. What they were about to witness was truly groundbreaking. Inside the Electric Theater, the atmosphere was charged with excitement. The audience settled into their seats. Surrounded by the buzz of fellow patrons, the venue was modestly decorated, with a large white screen at the front and rows of wooden chairs. The lights dimmed, and the room fell into darkness. The first film flickered to life on the screen, short and captivating. These films transported the audience to distant lands, showcased scenes of everyday life, and even brought laughter with slapstick humor. The novelty of the moving pictures was immediately apparent. The audience was captivated by the realistic motion and detail that these films conveyed. Some reports even suggest that when a locomotive appeared on screen, viewers were so enthralled that they feared it might burst through the screen and into the theater. The success of the Electric Theater was immediate and far-reaching. Thomas Talley's vision had become a reality, and it set off a wave of change in the world of entertainment. The demand for moving pictures grew, leading to longer and more complex films. Filmmakers began to explore storytelling through this new medium, laying the foundation for the cinematic art we know today. Across the United States and around the world, more movie theaters began to emerge. Cinemas, as we now know them, owe their existence to the audacious endeavor of the Electric Theater. The legacy of this historic moment continues to shape how we consume entertainment, making 1902 a pivotal year in the history of film and cinema. Beyond its significance in the world of entertainment, this story offers a rich resource for English learners. It combines historical context with vocabulary related to the early days of cinema, making it an ideal narrative for language learners and history enthusiasts alike. While this extended version provides a more comprehensive account of the Electric Theater's historic debut, it remains rooted in the real events of 1902, paying homage to the birth of the modern cinema.
In the year 1901, the world was on the cusp of a new era, marked by remarkable advancements in science, literature, and humanitarian efforts. It was a year when the very first Nobel Prizes were awarded, forever changing the landscape of recognition and honor in these fields. The story begins with Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen, a visionary physicist hailing from Germany. In the late 19th century, Röntgen made a groundbreaking discovery that would revolutionize the world of medicine. While experimenting with cathode rays, he observed a strange glow that permeated through a dark room. This radiant phenomenon was soon known as X-rays, and it held the potential to unveil the secrets hidden beneath the surface of the human body. For his groundbreaking work, Röntgen was awarded the first ever Nobel Prize in Physics in 1901. His remarkable discovery paved the way for the development of X-ray imaging, transforming the field of medical diagnostics. The impact of his work on healthcare and science is immeasurable, and his name remains synonymous with the revolutionary invention of X-rays. Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen, pioneer of X-ray imaging. The story of Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen, the physicist who unveiled the invisible, reads like a tale of scientific curiosity and groundbreaking discovery. Born on March 27, 1845, in Lennep, a town in what is now Germany, Röntgen displayed an early aptitude for the sciences. His journey into the world of physics would eventually lead to a revelation that would change the course of medical diagnostics and scientific exploration. As Röntgen delved into the field of physics, he found himself captivated by the emerging study of cathode rays. The phenomenon fascinated scientists across Europe, and Röntgen, ever the inquisitive mind, sought to understand it more deeply. His relentless experimentation with cathode rays would lead him to a discovery that would earn him worldwide recognition and the first Nobel Prize in physics. The breakthrough occurred in 1895 when Röntgen was conducting experiments in his laboratory at the University of Augsburg. He worked with a cathode ray tube, a device that produced a stream of electrons. To his astonishment, he observed that a fluorescent screen in the room began to glow, despite being some distance away from the cathode ray tube. The phenomenon could not be explained by the known properties of cathode rays. Determined to understand this mysterious effect, Röntgen meticulously conducted a series of experiments. He covered the cathode ray tube with heavy black cardboard to ensure no light escaped. Yet, the distant screen continued to glow. He realized that something entirely new and unanticipated was at play. Intrigued by this unexplainable glow, Röntgen decided to further investigate this mysterious radiation. He called this unknown form of radiation X-rays, using the mathematical designation X to signify something unknown. Röntgen was not only the first to observe X-rays, but also the first to systematically study and document their properties. He discovered that X-rays had the unique ability to pass through most substances, including the human body, while leaving detailed images on a photographic plate. Recognizing the potential of his discovery, Röntgen embarked on a journey to explore its applications in the medical field. His work led to the creation of the first X-ray images of the human body, forever changing the landscape of medicine and diagnostics. The transformative power of X-rays became evident as Röntgen's findings were shared with the world. In a matter of weeks, X-ray machines were being used in hospitals and medical facilities to diagnose conditions that were previously hidden from view. The ability to see inside the human body without invasive procedures was nothing short of revolutionary. The impact of Röntgen's discovery was immediate and profound. It opened new possibilities in medical diagnostics, enabling doctors to identify fractures, foreign objects, and diseases with unprecedented accuracy. The use of X-rays in surgery and dentistry became widespread, and their applications extended beyond medicine to fields such as industry and security. In recognition of his extraordinary contribution to science and medicine, Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen was awarded the first Nobel Prize in Physics in 1901. His discovery of X-rays not only advanced our understanding of the physical world, but also saved countless lives and continues to play a crucial role in modern healthcare. Sully Prudhomme, the poet laureate of the first Nobel Prize in Literature. As the world entered the 20th century, literature was in the midst of a renaissance, with writers and poets exploring new realms of human experience and expression. It was against this backdrop that the French poet Sully Prudhomme, born as Renfrenois Armand Prudhomme, emerged as a luminary of his time. Prudhomme's journey to becoming the inaugural Nobel laureate in literature was marked by a deep connection with the written word and a profound exploration of human emotions and experiences. He was born on March 16, 1839, in Paris, France, and from an early age, displayed a keen interest in literature and philosophy. His early career included studies in science and philosophy, and he briefly pursued a career as an engineer. However, it was the world of poetry that captured his heart and imagination. Prudhomme's poetic journey was characterized by a lyrical and introspective style that delved into themes of human existence, love, and the complexities of life. The turning point in Prudhomme's literary career came with the publication of his collection of poems, Stanzas et Poemies, in 1865. The work received critical acclaim and established him as a poet of significant merit. His exploration of the human psyche and emotions resonated with readers and critics alike. Throughout his career, Prudhomme's writings delved into the complexities of human emotions and the essence of existence. His poetry was characterized by its introspective and philosophical nature, often exploring themes of love, melancholy, and the human condition. His words possessed a unique power to evoke deep emotions and contemplation. In 1901, Sully Prudhomme received the first Nobel Prize in Literature, marking a historic moment in the world of letters. The Nobel Committee recognized him for his ability to convey profound emotions and philosophical reflections through the medium of poetry. His work was celebrated for its introspective and lyrical qualities, which invited readers to explore the depths of the human experience. The Nobel Prize in Literature served as a testament to the enduring power of language and the capacity of poetry to touch the human soul. Prudhomme's contribution to the literary world left an indelible mark, and his recognition as the first Nobel laureate in literature paved the way for countless writers and poets who would follow in his footsteps. Henry Dunant and Frédéric Passy, architects of peace and humanitarianism. The Nobel Peace Prize is a symbol of the world's commitment to peace, diplomacy, and the alleviation of human suffering. In 1901, the first Nobel Peace Prizes were awarded to two individuals whose dedication to humanitarian efforts and the promotion of international peace had a profound and lasting impact. Henry Dunant, the visionary behind the Red Cross. The story of Henry Dunant, a Swiss philanthropist and social activist, is inextricably linked with the founding of the Red Cross and the principles of humanitarianism. Born on May 8, 1828, in Geneva, Switzerland, Dunant's early years were marked by a strong sense of compassion and a commitment to alleviating human suffering. Dunant's life took a significant turn on June 24, 1859, during the Battle of Solferino in Italy. He was traveling through the region and witnessed the aftermath of the battle, where tens of thousands of wounded soldiers lay abandoned and in desperate need of medical care. The horrific scene left an indelible mark on Dunant, and he felt compelled to take action. In the aftermath of the Battle of Solferino, Dunant rallied local townspeople to provide aid to the wounded soldiers, regardless of their nationality. He organized makeshift hospitals and care for the injured, setting an example of compassion and neutrality during times of conflict. Dunant's experience at Solferino inspired him to pen a book titled The Memory of Solferino, in which he advocated for the establishment of volunteer groups to provide care to the wounded on the battlefield. He also proposed the formation of international agreements to protect the wounded and those providing care, regardless of their affiliation. Dunant's vision gave birth to the idea of the Red Cross, an international humanitarian organization that would offer aid to those in need during times of war and peace. In 1863, he co-founded the International Committee of the Red Cross and played a pivotal role in the creation of the Geneva Convention, which established protections for wounded soldiers and medical personnel during armed conflicts. The impact of Dunant's vision was felt worldwide. The Red Cross became a symbol of compassion, neutrality, and assistance to the vulnerable. In recognition of his pioneering efforts in the field of humanitarianism, Henry Dunant was jointly awarded the first Nobel Peace Prize in 1901, alongside Frédéric Passy. Frédéric Passy, the champion of peace and diplomacy. Frédéric Passy, a French economist and pacifist, shared the distinction of receiving the first Nobel Peace Prize with Henry Dunant. Born on May 20, 1822, in Paris, Passy's life was marked by a deep commitment to peace and diplomacy. Passy's early career was defined by his involvement in economic and social causes. He was an advocate for free trade and held a strong belief in the power of diplomacy to resolve conflicts. His work as an economist and public intellectual earned him recognition and respect in France and beyond. Passy's commitment to peace was galvanized by the tumultuous events of the 19th century, which saw Europe engulfed in conflicts and tensions. He became a vocal advocate for international arbitration as a means of resolving disputes between nations, firmly believing in the potential of diplomacy to avert armed conflicts. In 1867, Passy co-founded the Ligue de la Paix et de la Liberté, League of Peace and Freedom, an organization dedicated to the promotion of disarmament, international cooperation, and the resolution of conflicts through peaceful means. The League played a crucial role in advocating for peaceful solutions to international disputes. Passy's dedication to the cause of peace was unwavering, and his work laid the groundwork for the peace movements of the 20th century. His advocacy for disarmament, international arbitration, and diplomacy was instrumental in shaping the principles that underlie the modern quest for global peace. In recognition of their pioneering efforts in humanitarianism and the promotion of international peace, Henry Dunant and Frédéric Passy were jointly awarded the first Nobel Peace Prize in 1901. Their legacies endure in the form of the Red Cross, the principles of humanitarian assistance, and the enduring pursuit of peaceful resolution to global conflicts. The impact and legacy of the first Nobel laureates. The year 1901 marked a historic moment, as the first Nobel Prizes were awarded to individuals who had made extraordinary contributions to science, literature, and humanitarian efforts. The laureates of 1901, Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen, Sully Prudhomme, Henry Dunant, and Frédéric Passy, left an indelible mark on their respective fields, shaping the course of history and human progress. Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen's discovery of X-rays revolutionized the field of medicine, providing a non-invasive means of peering inside the human body. His innovative work has saved countless lives and continues to be a cornerstone of modern healthcare. The name Röntgen remains synonymous with the transformative power of scientific discovery. Sully Prudhomme's recognition as the first Nobel laureate in literature served as a testament to the enduring power of poetry and the written word. His introspective and philosophical verses continue to inspire readers and writers, inviting them to explore the depths of the human experience. The humanitarian legacies of Henry Dunant and Frédéric Passy have reverberated through the decades, offering hope and assistance to those in need during times of conflict and crisis. The founding of the Red Cross and the advocacy for peaceful diplomacy have left an indelible mark on the principles of compassion and international cooperation. The impact of these distinguished laureates reaches far beyond their lifetimes. Their contributions to science, literature, and humanitarianism continue to inspire and shape the world. The Nobel Prizes, established in their honor, serve as a reminder of the enduring potential of human achievement and the transformative power of knowledge, compassion, and the written word. As you immerse yourself in this narrative, pay attention to the rich vocabulary and conversational skills used to convey the achievements, emotions, and contributions of these distinguished laureates. This extended story offers an opportunity to enhance your English language skills while delving into the remarkable journeys of these remarkable individuals. The world of 1901 was one of immense change and progress, and the stories of these Nobel laureates reflect the spirit of their times. It is a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit, the pursuit of knowledge, and the boundless potential of literature, science, and humanitarianism. Through the story of the first Nobel laureates, you not only improve your language skills, but also gain insight into the profound impact of these exceptional individuals on our world. Their contributions continue to shape the course of history and inspire generations to come. Once upon a time, in a small, picturesque village, nestled in a lush valley, there lived two men whose lives couldn't have been more different. The village was like something out of a fairy tale, with quaint cottages, cobblestone streets, and an air of simplicity that seemed untouched by the chaos of the modern world. John, the first of our two protagonists, was a wealthy businessman known throughout the valley for his opulent mansion that sat on a hill overlooking the village. He owned vast expanses of farmland and controlled a number of successful businesses. His wealth was legendary, and he was often the talk of the town, though not always in a positive light. David, on the other hand, was a poor farmer who eked out a modest living on a small piece of land near the outskirts of the village. He was unassuming and humble, living in a small cottage with a thatched roof. David's life was characterized by hard work and a deep connection to the land. While he didn't possess much, his heart was rich with kindness and wisdom. One sunny morning, as the villagers went about their daily routines, a curious twist of fate brought John and David together. John had decided to visit the village, intrigued by the tales he'd heard about the simple, idyllic life led by the people there. As he strolled through the village square, he couldn't help but notice David, who was tending to his small garden. John approached David, struck by the stark contrast between them. With his finely tailored suit, polished shoes, and a gold watch that gleamed in the sun, John was the epitome of wealth and success. In contrast, David wore worn-out clothes and had a tanned, weathered face that spoke of years spent toiling in the fields.
"Hello,
John said, extending a hand.
I'm John, and I couldn't help but admire your beautiful garden."
David wiped his hands on his trousers and shook John's hand.
I'm David.
He replied with a warm smile.
Thank you. I put a lot of love and care into this garden.
John was immediately taken by David's humility and the simplicity of his life. He found himself intrigued by this farmer who seemed content with so little. They began to chat, and over the course of their conversation, they discovered a mutual appreciation for life's lessons, despite their vastly different backgrounds. As the days turned into weeks, John and David's friendship blossomed. John would visit David regularly, and they would spend hours in deep conversation. David shared stories of his ancestors and the age-old wisdom passed down through generations. John, in turn, regaled David with tales of his business ventures, his travels, and the knowledge he had gained from his experiences. One warm summer evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, John and David sat on the porch of David's cottage, sipping tea and gazing at the stars. John felt an odd sense of peace and contentment that he hadn't experienced in a long time. He realized that, in David's company, he had found something more valuable than all his wealth, a true friend. Over time, their friendship began to transform both of them. David learned about investment, leadership, and the nuances of the business world from John. John, in turn, imbibed David's simple, yet profound, wisdom about the importance of community, compassion, and a strong work ethic. He discovered that life wasn't just about wealth. It was about the richness of the human spirit and the connections we form. One summer, as the village prepared for its annual festival, John and David decided to collaborate on a project. They used David's agricultural knowledge and John's resources to sponsor a community event that brought the village together in a way they had never experienced before. The festival was a tremendous success, and it left a lasting impression on the villagers. As their friendship deepened, the two friends became inseparable, bound by their shared experiences and a mutual appreciation for the lessons life had to offer. They visited each other's homes and families, experiencing the joys and challenges that each other's worlds presented. They laughed together, cried together, and supported one another in times of need. However, as with any tale, there came a point where conflict reared its head. A powerful developer from the city had his eye on the village, seeing it as a prime location for a new resort. He offered to buy David's land at an exorbitant price, promising to turn the village into a bustling tourist destination. David was tempted by the offer, knowing that it would bring him and his family great wealth, but John had reservations. John, knowing the developer's reputation, suspected that the village would lose its charm and sense of community if the resort were built. He cautioned David about the potential consequences of the deal, but David was swayed by the promise of riches. The two friends found themselves at odds, their differing perspectives on wealth and values clashing for the first time. Their disagreement caused a rift in their friendship, and for a time, they barely spoke to each other. David went ahead with the deal, selling his land to the developer and pocketing a considerable sum of money. The resort construction began, and as John had feared, the village started to change. The quiet charm and sense of community began to erode, replaced by the hustle and bustle of tourism. As the rift between John and David deepened, the villagers watched with sadness as the once inseparable friends became distant strangers. The annual festival, once a symbol of their unity, was marred by tension and division. The turning point came when the resort construction caused environmental damage to the beautiful valley. The pollution and deforestation began to affect the quality of life for both the villagers and the surrounding flora and fauna. Realizing the consequences of his actions, David was overcome with guilt and regret. He sought out John, who was equally unhappy with the changes in the village. Their reunion was fraught with emotion, as they both acknowledged their mistakes. David shared his deep remorse for the decision he had made, and John expressed his regret for not being more supportive during David's difficult choice. Together, they decided to take action to mitigate the environmental damage and work toward restoring the village to its former beauty. They united the villagers in a collective effort to clean up the valley and protect its natural resources. As they worked side by side with their friends and neighbors, John and David rediscovered the strength of their friendship. Through their collaboration, they managed to halt further environmental degradation and work towards revitalizing the village's charm. Over time, the village began to regain its unique character and sense of community. In the process, John and David learned important lessons. David realized that wealth, when pursued without regard for the values that matter most, could have destructive consequences. John understood that life's richness didn't come solely from money, but from the relationships and the wisdom we gain along the way. Their friendship was stronger than ever, and the villagers, inspired by their collective effort, celebrated their unity in an even grander festival than before. The village had learned that true wealth lay not in material possessions, but in the bonds of friendship and the shared values that define a community. And so, in the end, the tale of rich man, poor man became a story of two friends who discovered the true wealth of life, a wealth that transcended money, property, and status. It was a wealth found in the warmth of friendship, the wisdom of shared experiences, and the values that bound a village together in unity and harmony. It was a wealth found in the warmth of friendship, the wisdom of shared experiences, and the values that bound a village together in unity and harmony. As the years passed, the village continued to flourish, not just in terms of prosperity, but in the richness of its spirit. John and David remained steadfast friends, a testament to the enduring power of true friendship and the life lessons learned from one another. And so, the story of rich man, poor man lives on as a reminder that in the grand tapestry of life, true wealth is measured not by what we own, but by the love we give, the wisdom we gain, and the friendships we nurture.
The Panama Canal construction, engineering marvel of the 20th century. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the dream of creating a passage connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans became a monumental engineering challenge. This vision came to life in the form of the Panama Canal, one of the most ambitious and iconic infrastructure projects in history. The idea of building a canal through the Isthmus of Panama was not a new one. As early as the 16th century, explorers and engineers pondered the possibility of such a connection, but it wasn't until the late 1800s that serious efforts to build the canal began. The construction of the Panama Canal is a tale of human determination, innovation, and perseverance. The story starts with the French, who were the first to attempt the colossal undertaking under the leadership of Ferdinand de Lesseps, the man behind the successful construction of the Suez Canal. However, the challenges they faced in Panama proved far more formidable. Malaria and yellow fever were rampant in the region, taking a heavy toll on the workforce. The French also struggled with landslides and the formidable geography of the area. Eventually, the French effort failed due to financial difficulties and the loss of thousands of lives. The United States stepped in, led by the brilliant engineer John F. Stevens and later Colonel George W. Goethals. Under their direction, the project took on new life. The most significant breakthrough came when it was discovered that controlling the spread of mosquito-borne diseases like malaria and yellow fever was key to keeping the workforce healthy. Dr. William Gorgas led a successful campaign to eradicate these diseases, which made it possible to continue construction. The construction itself involved Herculean efforts. Enormous locks, including the iconic Miraflores and Gatton locks, were built to raise and lower ships to the level of the Panama Canal. These locks allowed vessels to traverse the 50-mile, 80 kilometers across the isthmus. The excavation of the Culebra Cut, formerly known as the Gaylord Cut, was one of the most challenging aspects of the project. It involved removing millions of cubic yards of rock and earth to create a navigable passage through the Continental Divide. Finally, on August 15, 1914, the Panama Canal opened to international traffic. It was a feat of engineering that significantly reduced travel times and costs for ships, enabling them to bypass the treacherous journey around the southern tip of South America. The canal was an instant success, revolutionizing global trade and transportation. Today, the Panama Canal stands as a testament to human ingenuity and determination. Its construction changed the course of history, making the world a smaller place and showcasing what is possible when people come together to overcome incredible challenges. This story of the Panama Canal's construction exemplifies the power of human ambition and serves as a reminder of what can be achieved through innovation, perseverance, and collaboration. It's a story that continues to inspire generations, demonstrating that even the most daunting obstacles can be overcome. Racing into history. The inaugural opening of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. In the early 20th century, a quartet of visionaries, Carl G. Fisher, James A. Allison, Frank H. Wheeler, and Arthur C. Newby, envisioned a space where the nascent automotive industry could test its limits. This vision led to the establishment of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, a revolutionary project that would redefine the world of motorsports. The chosen location for the Speedway was a vast expanse of farmland northwest of downtown Indianapolis. Construction commenced in 1909, and the unique design of the track set it apart. The rectangular 2.5-mile track featured for turns banked at a revolutionary 9 degrees, providing higher speeds and safer racing conditions. August 19, 1909, marked the official opening of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, an event that would go down in history. The day was nothing short of a spectacle, drawing over 12,000 spectators eager to witness the birth of a new era in automotive racing. The inaugural day featured a diverse range of racing events, from hot air balloon races to motorcycle competitions. The event culminated in a series of automobile races that left an indelible mark on motorsports history. The roar of engines and the scent of burning rubber filled the air, signaling the beginning of a legacy. The first competitive event held at the Speedway was a 250-mile race, won by Ray Harun driving the Marmon Wasp. This victory not only marked a significant achievement for Harun, but also set the tone for the countless triumphs and records that would be etched into the track's history. One distinctive feature of the original track was its surface paved with 3.2 million bricks. This earned the speedway the nickname the Brickyard. The bricks, initially intended for durability, became a symbol of the speedway's endurance and its enduring connection to automotive history. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway underwent various transformations over the years. The surface transitioned from bricks to asphalt, and the track saw numerous upgrades to enhance safety and to accommodate the ever-evolving technology of race cars, yet the essence of speed and competition remained unchanged. In 1911, the Indianapolis 500 was introduced, quickly becoming the crown jewel of American motorsports, covering 500 miles. The race captured the imagination of racing enthusiasts worldwide and solidified the Speedway's place as a mecca for motorsports. The Speedway became a witness to countless milestones, the triumphs of legendary drivers, and the cultural impact of motorsports. From the achievements of A.J. Foyt, Hal Unser, and Rick Mears to the memorable moments etched into the annals of racing history, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway became a sacred ground for racing enthusiasts. As we reflect on the opening of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in 1909, we see not just a racetrack but a living testament to the spirit of competition, innovation, and human achievement. The Speedway's legacy endures, carrying with it the echoes of engines, the cheers of fans, and the tireless pursuit of speed that continues to captivate hearts in every lap. The inaugural opening of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in 1909 was a pivotal moment that ignited a passion for speed and competition. From its humble beginnings as a farmland dream to its status as a global racing icon, the Speedway stands as a testament to the enduring pursuit of excellence in motorsports. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway is not just a racetrack, it's a living, breathing monument to the thrill of the race, and its legacy continues to unfold with each turn of the wheel. The founding of Rolls-Royce Limited. In the early years of the 20th century, a legendary British automobile brand was born, destined to become synonymous with luxury, quality, and craftsmanship. The story of Rolls-Royce Limited, founded by Charles Rolls and Henry Royce, is one of entrepreneurial spirit and engineering excellence. Charles Rolls, an automobile enthusiast and accomplished balloonist, was the first Briton to make a non-stop double crossing of the English Channel by plane. His passion for innovation and adventure led him to the emerging world of automobiles. On the other hand, Henry Royce, an engineer and perfectionist, was committed to building the finest cars with the utmost attention to detail and quality. The fateful meeting of these two visionaries occurred in May 1904. Charles Rolls was in pursuit of exceptional automobiles to sell in his London-based dealership, while Henry Royce was seeking a partner who could help him sell his high-quality automobiles. Rolls was immediately impressed by Royce's two-cylinder car, and they struck a deal. Charles Rolls would sell the cars, and Henry Royce would manufacture them. The collaboration between Rolls and Royce led to the establishment of Rolls-Royce Limited on March 15, 1906. Their first car, the Rolls-Royce 10 horsepower, set a new standard for reliability and craftsmanship in the automobile industry. It wasn't long before the brand gained a reputation for producing the best car in the world. Rolls-Royce's excellence didn't go unnoticed. The company received a royal seal of approval when King Edward VII purchased a 40/50th of a horsepower Silver Ghost in 1907. This car, renowned for its quietness and smooth ride, solidified Rolls-Royce's position as a luxury automobile manufacturer. Rolls-Royce went on to produce a series of iconic models, including the Phantom I, Phantom II, and the legendary Phantom III. These cars were celebrated for their exceptional engineering power and opulence, making them the preferred choice of royalty, celebrities, and heads of state. While the company initially focused on automobiles, it later ventured into aviation and manufacturing aircraft engines. Rolls-Royce's aero engines played a crucial role in both World War I and World War II, solidifying their reputation as pioneers in engineering. Today, Rolls-Royce Limited continues to produce some of the most luxurious and powerful cars in the world. The Spirit of Ecstasy, the iconic hood ornament, remains a symbol of prestige and elegance. Rolls-Royce's commitment to excellence and innovation endures, making it a timeless emblem of automotive and engineering achievement. The founding of Rolls-Royce Limited is a testament to the pursuit of perfection, and their enduring legacy in both the automotive and aerospace industries continues to captivate enthusiasts and connoisseurs around the globe. Oklahoma becomes a state. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the American frontier was rapidly closing, and the United States was experiencing a period of westward expansion. This expansion brought settlers, entrepreneurs, and new opportunities to the region, including the vast and diverse territory known as Indian Territory, which is now the state of Oklahoma. Prior to becoming a state, the area that would become Oklahoma was home to various Native American tribes, including the Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Creek, and Seminole nations. These tribes had been forcibly relocated to the region as a result of the Indian removal policies of the 1830s, most notably the Trail of Tears. The Indian Territory was set aside for these tribes in the 1830s, and they established self-governing nations with their own governments and laws. As more settlers moved into the region, and as the railroad expanded, the call for statehood grew stronger. The U.S. government and the settlers saw economic opportunities and growth potential in the territory. Additionally, the idea of consolidating the Indian Territory and the Oklahoma Territory into a single state gained momentum. One of the key events in the path to statehood was the land run of 1889, in which settlers rushed to claim land in the Oklahoma Territory when it was open for settlement. This event marked the beginning of the transformation of Oklahoma from a frontier territory to a more settled and organized region. Over the years, several land runs and land lotteries took place, leading to the establishment of towns and cities throughout the territory. The city of Guthrie, for instance, served as the territorial capital, and Oklahoma City, which was established during the land run of 1889, eventually became the state's capital. The movement for statehood gained further momentum. In the early 20th century, and on November 16, 1907, Oklahoma officially became the 46th state of the United States. The new state encompassed both the Indian Territory and the Oklahoma Territory. Oklahoma's journey to statehood was marked by complex negotiations and changes, especially concerning the tribal nations within its borders. When the state was admitted to the Union, it had a unique status among the states, as it was still home to numerous Native American citizens and tribal governments. These complexities continue to influence the state's politics and culture to this day. Oklahoma's admission as a state represented not only the westward expansion and growth of the United States, but also the intricate interplay of Native American history, territorial politics, and the pursuit of the American dream on the frontier. The state's rich and diverse history, influenced by Native American heritage and pioneer spirit, has left an indelible mark on the fabric of the United States. Welcome to Historical Bedtime Stories, your portal to a world of captivating narratives that transport you through time and inspire your imagination. We are dedicated to curating and narrating historical tales that are perfect for bedtime listeners seeking a peaceful and educational journey into the past. Our channel is not only a treasure trove of stories, but also a valuable resource for English learners as we weave rich vocabulary, expressive dialogues, and eloquent narration into our narratives. Whether you're honing your language skills or simply enjoying a bedtime tale, our content caters to both your linguistic and relaxation needs. For the history enthusiasts among us, Historical Bedtime Stories offers a window into the events and figures that shaped our world. We delve into the annals of history to uncover remarkable stories of perseverance, innovation, and the indomitable human spirit. So join us on this enchanting journey, where every video is a blend of relaxation and education. Subscribe to Historical Bedtime Stories today, and let us guide you through the past, one fascinating story at a time.
In today's historical tale, we journey back to the year 1900, to the bustling streets of Monza, Italy, where an event unfolded that would change the course of Italian history. This is the story of the assassination of King Umberto I, a tale filled with intrigue, tragedy, and even a touch of the bizarre. To understand the events of that fateful day, we must first delve into the historical context. King Umberto I of Italy, born in 1844, ascended to the throne in 1878. Italy was a young nation, newly unified, and Umberto I faced the challenges of a rapidly changing world. Here's an interesting fact. Umberto I earned the nickname the Good for his dedication to his royal duties and his desire to improve the lives of his subjects. However, the late 19th century was a turbulent time in Italy, marked by social unrest, political turmoil, and economic struggles. Now, Let's delve into the emotional aspects of our story. King Umberto I was known for his strong sense of duty to his nation, but he also faced personal tragedies, including the loss of his only son, Victor Emmanuel, in 1879. This loss weighed heavily on him. Fast forward to July 29, 1900. King Umberto I attended a dinner at a restaurant in Monza. Unbeknownst to him, an anarchist named Gaetano Bresci had hatched a plan to assassinate the king. Bresci's motivations were rooted in his opposition to the monarchy and the suffering of the Italian people. Here's where the story takes a rather bizarre turn. Bresci, armed with a revolver, approached King Umberto I at the restaurant. Instead of immediately firing at the king, he decided to order a coffee first. It's a strange detail in an already unusual story. Eventually, Bresci carried out his plan, firing at the king, fatally wounding him. King Umberto I died the following day, marking the tragic end of his reign. The assassination of King Umberto I had a profound impact on Italy. His death led to a period of mourning and reflection, and it spurred discussions about the monarchy's role in a changing nation. As we conclude this journey into history, it's important to reflect on the significance of the assassination of King Umberto. This event, which unfolded in the vibrant streets of Monza, Italy, in 1900, left an indelible mark on the nation and its people. King Umberto I, known as the Good, faced a challenging era as Italy grappled with political turmoil, social unrest, and economic struggles. His dedication to his duties and his desire to improve the lives of his subjects earned him respect and the affectionate nickname. However, the late 19th century was marked by tensions and ideological conflicts. It was against this backdrop that the anarchist Gaetano Bresci carried out a plan to assassinate the king, driven by opposition to the monarchy and the suffering of the Italian people. And now, a strange twist in the tale. Bresci's decision to order coffee before the assassination adds an unusual layer to this historical narrative. It's a reminder that history often weaves together the extraordinary and the everyday in unexpected ways. I hope you've found this historical tale both informative and intriguing. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more captivating stories from the annals of history, I invite you to take action. First and foremost, please consider hitting the like button if you found this video engaging and informative. Your likes not only show your support, but also help others discover this content. By subscribing, you'll become part of our community of history enthusiasts. I value your insights and thoughts. Please share your comments and questions in the comments section below. Let's engage in a discussion about this historical event or any other topics you'd like to explore. If you believe this video can resonate with someone you know, or if you think it can help others learn more about history, please share it with them. Spreading knowledge is a noble endeavor. And finally, don't forget to click on the notification bell to receive alerts about our upcoming videos. We have more exciting historical stories in store for you. Thank you for joining us on this historical journey. Your participation and support mean the world to us.
The first Nickelodeon theater. The birth of cinema. In the bustling streets of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, a small but revolutionary change was about to take place. It was the year 1905, a time when moving pictures were still in their infancy, and the concept of going to a theater to watch a film was a novel idea. At the heart of this transformation was Harry Davis and John P. Harris, two men with a vision that would forever change the entertainment industry. Their brainchild, the first Nickelodeon theater, would not only introduce the world to a new form of entertainment, but also pave the way for the modern cinema experience we know today. Harry Davis and John P. Harris were already seasoned entrepreneurs, having made a name for themselves in various business ventures. However, It was their fascination with the new medium of motion pictures that led them to embark on a groundbreaking endeavor. They secured a small, unassuming space on Smithfield Street, which would become the birthplace of the first Nickelodeon. The name Nickelodeon was a fusion of two words, nickel, the price of admission, and Odeon, a Greek word for theater. It was a place where, for the price of just 5 cents, anyone could escape from the daily grind and be transported to different worlds through the magic of film. The interior of the Nickelodeon was modest but inviting. It could accommodate around 96 patrons at a time who sat on simple wooden benches. The screen, if it could be called that, was a white sheet, and the projector, a hand-cranked device that often required manual adjustment. Yet, to the people of that era, it was nothing short of extraordinary. On June 19, 1905, the doors of the first Nickelodeon swung open, and the world witnessed the birth of something exceptional. The concept was a hit from the start. The audience was treated to a selection of short films, usually no longer than 15 minutes each, which ranged from simple, everyday scenes to exotic adventures and comedies. The experience was unlike anything they had seen before. One of the earliest films to grace the Nickelodeon's screen was Edwin S. Porter's The Great Train Robbery, a Western film that featured daring action and special effects. Audiences were captivated, and the film became a sensation. The success of the first Nickelodeon theater prompted others to follow suit. Nickelodeons began popping up in cities across the United States, creating a new form of popular entertainment. These theaters not only transformed the film industry, but also led to the development of grand movie palaces and, eventually, the multiplex cinemas we know today. In many ways, the Nickelodeon era laid the foundation for the modern film industry. It introduced the world to the concept of going to a dedicated space to watch movies, a practice that continues to thrive. The simple 5-cent admission fee, the affordability, and the variety of films made cinema accessible to people from all walks of life. As the Nickelodeon craze spread, it didn't take long for filmmakers to recognize the potential of this new medium. They began experimenting with storytelling techniques, cinematography, and special effects. The Nickelodeon theaters were the testing grounds for these innovations. The first Nickelodeon in Pittsburgh may be long gone, but its legacy lives on. It was the humble beginning of an industry that would become a global powerhouse. The magic of those early Nickelodeons, where everyday folks could escape into the world of cinema for just a nickel, continues to enchant audiences to this day. So the next time you settle into your theater seat, popcorn in hand, waiting for the latest blockbuster, take a moment to remember the pioneering spirit of Harry Davis and John P. Harris. Their vision and the birth of the first Nickelodeon theater forever changed the way we experience the magic of the movies.
Certainly. Here's a bedtime story entitled Bedtime in the Enchanted Forest. Welcome to Short Stories Galore, home of captivating short stories. Once upon a time, in a land where magic flowed through the very air, there existed a place known as the Enchanted Forest. This forest was unlike any other, for it was home to creatures of wonder and whimsy, and its trees whispered secrets only the moon had heard. In the heart of the enchanted forest, there stood a cottage bathed in the soft glow of firefly lanterns. This cottage belonged to a gentle soul named Luna, whose kindness was as boundless as the starry sky. Luna was known far and wide as the keeper of bedtime, for she possessed a magical gift. She could weave dreams into the very fabric of the night, ensuring that every slumber was filled with enchanting tales and adventures. As the sun dipped below the horizon and the first stars began to twinkle in the indigo sky, Luna would step onto her wooden porch. She would raise her arms to the heavens, and a soft, melodic hum would escape her lips. With each note, fireflies would gather around her, forming a luminous orchestra that played the sweetest lullabies. Children and adults from all corners of the enchanted forest would gather beneath Luna's porch, their eyes filled with anticipation. They knew that when Luna began to tell her bedtime stories, they would be transported to worlds of magic and wonder. On one particularly enchanting evening, Luna's porch was bathed in the soft glow of 1,000 fireflies. The forest seemed to hold its breath, eager to hear the tale that awaited. Luna, with her long flowing hair the color of moonlight, began her story in a voice as soothing as a gentle breeze. Tonight, my dear friends, I shall tell you the tale of Alara and the whispering willows. The forest rustled in anticipation as Luna's words wove a tapestry of wonder. Alara was a young girl, with eyes as bright as the morning sun and a heart filled with curiosity. She lived on the edge of the enchanted forest and spent her days exploring the wonders it held. Luna's voice carried the listeners deeper into the story. One warm summer's day, as Alara ventured deeper into the forest than ever before, she came upon a grove of ancient willow trees. These were no ordinary willows, for they were the whispering willows, known to hold the secrets of the forest within their branches. As Luna continued to spin her tale, the forest came alive with a soft, melodic rustling, as if the trees themselves were whispering secrets to the listeners. Alara, with her heart full of curiosity, approached the oldest and grandest of the whispering willows. She placed her hand upon its gnarled bark and closed her eyes, listening with all her might. The fireflies above seemed to dance in harmony with Luna's words, casting a warm and enchanting light upon the rapt audience. And then, my dear friends, Luna continued, the whispering willow spoke to Alara. It shared with her the stories of the forest, the songs of the birds, and the wisdom of the ages. As Luna's tale unfolded, the listeners felt as though they were standing alongside Alara, their hearts filled with the magic of the enchanted forest. Alara spent hours beneath the whispering willow, learning the language of the trees and the songs of the wind. She became a guardian of the forest, a protector of its secrets. With each word, Luna's voice grew softer, like a lullaby carried on a gentle breeze. And so, my dear friends, as the moon rises high in the sky, we too become guardians of the night, protectors of dreams. Close your eyes and let the stories of the enchanted forest carry you into slumber. As Luna's voice faded into the night, the fireflies above continued their dance, casting a soft and soothing light upon the sleeping forest. The listeners, young and old, drifted into dreams filled with the wonders of the enchanted forest, knowing that Luna would be there to greet them with stories untold when they awoke. And so, in the heart of the enchanted forest, bedtime was a time of magic and wonder, a time when dreams became reality and the night itself whispered tales of enchantment. The enchantment of bedtime lies not only in the tales we hear, but also in the moments we share with those we love. Just as Luna wove dreams into the night, we have the power to create magical bedtime experiences for ourselves and our loved ones. Bedtime is a time to nurture curiosity, imagination, and a sense of wonder, fostering a deep connection to the world of dreams and the enchanting stories that dwell within it. So, embrace the bedtime rituals that bring comfort and solace, for in the twilight hours, we find the magic of dreams and the warmth of togetherness.
The Model T, pioneering a revolution in automobiles. In the early 20th century, the automotive landscape was characterized by luxury cars accessible only to the wealthy. Enter Henry Ford, a visionary industrialist with a dream of making cars affordable for the masses. This vision laid the groundwork for what would become the iconic Ford Model T. Henry Ford and his team set out to design a car that was not only affordable, but also reliable and easy to maintain. The Model T, unveiled in 1908, featured a simple and sturdy design prioritizing functionality over extravagance. It was a car for the common person, embodying Ford's belief in democratizing mobility. While the Model T's design was revolutionary, it was Ford's approach to production that truly transformed the automotive industry in 1913. The moving assembly line was introduced at the Ford Highland Park plant. This innovation streamlined the manufacturing process, reducing the time it took to build a car from over 12 hours to just 93 minutes. It was a watershed moment that not only made the Model T more affordable, but also set a new standard for mass production. With assembly line production, the cost of manufacturing the Model T plummeted. This cost reduction was passed on to consumers, and the initial price of the Model T was set at $850, making it the first truly affordable automobile. The Model T became synonymous with the idea that ordinary people could enjoy the benefits of technological advancements. The affordability of the Model T had a profound impact on American society. It marked the beginning of a new era in personal transportation, liberating people from the constraints of distance and revolutionizing travel. The Model T wasn't just a car, it was a symbol of innovation, progress, and the changing face of America. The success of the Model T wasn't confined to the United States. Ford's assembly line methods and the mass production of affordable cars became a blueprint for the automotive industry worldwide. The Model T's influence reached far beyond its time, shaping the way cars were manufactured and sold for decades. Production of the Model T continued until 1927, with over 15 million units sold. Its longevity and widespread adoption solidified its place in history as one of the most influential and iconic cars ever produced. The Model T's legacy is not just in its numbers, but in the profound impact it had on mobility, industry, and the very fabric of society. The Model T wasn't just a car, it was a revolution on wheels. From its humble beginnings on October 1, 1908, the Model T transformed the automotive landscape, making cars accessible to ordinary people and reshaping the way we think about personal transportation. Henry Ford's vision had come to life, and the Model T remains a symbol of innovation, accessibility, and the power to change the world one revolution at a time. The Singerhorn Saga. Scaling heights in 1908. In the early 20th century, a race to the sky was underway in major urban centers, driven by advances in construction technology and the growing demand for office space. New York City was at the forefront of this vertical revolution, and the Singer Building emerged as a landmark in this race. Completed in 1908, the Singer Building soared to a height of 612 feet, securing its place as the tallest inhabited building in the world. Designed by architect Ernest Flagg, this Gothic-style skyscraper stood as a testament to the ambition and innovation of the time. As New Yorkers marveled at the towering structure, humor and wordplay entered the scene. The building's distinct pyramid-like crown, reminiscent of the Matterhorn in the Alps, led wits and commentators to affectionately dub it the Singerhorn. This playful nickname captured the public imagination and added a touch of charm to the imposing structure. The Singer Building wasn't just about height. It was a marvel of architecture. The intricate Gothic details, including pointed arches and ornate decorations, set it apart from its contemporaries. The use of terracotta gave the foyer a warm hue, and the building's design was a departure from the steel-framed structures that would dominate later skyscrapers. The Singer Building was not merely a symbol of architectural prowess, it was a functional space for commerce. The lower floors housed the Singer Manufacturing Company's headquarters, while the upper floors provided office space. The tower's height, crowned with an observation deck, offered breathtaking views of the cityscape. Despite its grandeur, the Singer Building's reign as the tallest inhabited structure was relatively short-lived. In 1909, the Metropolitan Life Tower surpassed it in height. The subsequent years saw the skyline of New York City evolve rapidly, with taller and more modern structures joining the ranks of the skyline. Tragically, the Singer Building met its end in 1968 as the city embraced modernization and larger developments. The building was deemed uneconomical and, amidst controversy, was demolished to make way for One Liberty Plaza. The Singer Building left an indelible mark on the history of skyscrapers. While its physical presence is no more, the Singerhorn lives on in the memories of those who marveled at its height and elegance. The nickname endures as a whimsical reminder of an era when New York City, with its soaring towers, reached for the sky. In 1908, the Singerhorn stood as a pinnacle of human achievement, reaching unprecedented heights and capturing the imagination of a city on the rise. Its legacy, both as an architectural marvel and a whimsically nicknamed landmark, remains etched in the annals of New York's skyscraper history, embodying the spirit of ambition and innovation that defined the early 20th century. The Great San Francisco Earthquake of 1906. In the early hours of April 18, 1906, the city of San Francisco was shrouded in darkness and quiet. Residents lay in their beds, unaware of the cataclysmic event that would soon change the course of their lives. Just as the clock struck 5:12 a.m., the earth beneath the city's foundation began to tremble, setting in motion one of the most devastating natural disasters in American history. San Francisco, situated along the picturesque coastline of California, had grown into a thriving metropolis, The city was known for its steep hills, its iconic cable cars, and its bustling port. People from all over the world had flocked to San Francisco during the California gold rush of 1849, hoping to strike it rich in the abundant gold mines of the region over the decades. It had become a hub of commerce and culture on the West Coast, earning the nickname the Paris of the West. The earthquake that struck San Francisco in 1906 was a result of the tectonic forces building up along the San Andreas Fault. The city had experienced tremors in the past, but none compared to the sheer force of what was about to unfold. The ground ruptured along a 290-mile stretch of the fault, releasing pent-up energy. The initial shock, with an estimated magnitude of 7.8 to 8.3, lasted about 45 seconds, leaving no one in doubt that something catastrophic was unfolding. The earth shook violently, buildings swayed, and the noise of grinding rock filled the air. Telephones and gas lines were severed, plunging the city into darkness. While the earthquake had caused significant damage, it was just the beginning of San Francisco's ordeal. Fires broke out across the city, spreading rapidly due to the ruptured gas lines and the unavailability of water to combat the flames fanned by strong winds. The fires raged out of control, consuming entire blocks. Desperate attempts were made to contain the fires, but they continued to devour the city. Firefighters and volunteers fought valiantly, often using dynamite to create fire breaks, but their efforts were often in vain. The destruction was profound. The earthquake and subsequent fires left an estimated 3,000 people dead, and over half the city's population homeless. City officials and residents were left with the daunting task of rebuilding. In the wake of the disaster, lessons were learned about the importance of earthquake-resistant buildings and urban planning. San Francisco's rebirth would see a commitment to better construction practices and preparedness for future seismic events. The Great San Francisco Earthquake of 1906 remains a symbol of resilience. The city and its people, despite the immense challenges they faced, emerged stronger and more determined to create a safer, more vibrant, and more inclusive San Francisco. This disaster, while devastating, was not the end but a new beginning for the city by the bay. The San Francisco earthquake of 1906 left an indelible mark on the city's history. It led to the development of stricter building codes and seismic retrofitting in the region. It also underscored the importance of disaster preparedness and response. The earthquake, with all its tragedy, showcased the resilience of the people of San Francisco and their determination to rebuild and thrive in the face of adversity. Today, the earthquake is remembered through memorials and historical sites that tell the story of that fateful morning in 1906. San Francisco has not only risen from the ashes, but has become a global symbol of a city that refuses to be defeated. This story of disaster, devastation, and determination is a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the ability to rebuild, even when faced with the most overwhelming of challenges. Pablo Picasso's Les Demoiselles d'Avignon, a revolutionary shift in modern art. Certainly, Les Demoiselles d'Avignon is a groundbreaking masterpiece by the Spanish artist Pablo Picasso, created in 1907. This painting is considered a seminal work in the development of modern art, marking a departure from traditional artistic conventions and paving the way for the emergence of Cubism. Here's an extended story on Les Demoiselles d'Avignon. At the dawn of the 20th century, the art world was experiencing a period of profound transformation. The traditional conventions of representational art were being challenged by avant-garde movements, and artists were exploring new ways of expressing reality. Picasso, a Spanish artist who had settled in Paris, found himself at the center of this artistic ferment. Pablo Picasso, initially associated with the vibrant and expressive style of Fauvism, was constantly pushing the boundaries of artistic expression. By 1907, he was experimenting with a more radical departure from traditional representation, inspired by African and Iberian art. This experimentation would culminate in the creation of Les Demoiselles d'Avignon. The title of the painting refers to Avignon Street in Barcelona, a place known for its brothels. Picasso drew inspiration from Iberian sculpture and African art, particularly masks. The influence of African tribal masks is evident in the distorted and angular facial features of the figures. Les Demoiselles d'Avignon is renowned for its radical departure from conventional artistic representation. Picasso shattered the norms of perspective and proportion, presenting the viewer with a fractured and disorienting composition. The figures, with their distorted and mask-like faces, challenged the viewer's expectations and perceptions of beauty. The painting is often considered a precursor to the Cubist movement. Picasso's exploration of multiple perspectives, geometric forms, and the deconstruction of the human figure laid the foundation for the analytical and synthetic phases of Cubism that would follow. Les Demoiselles d'Avignon is a pivotal work that signaled a shift from representational art to a more abstract and conceptual approach. Upon its completion, Les Demoiselles d'Avignon was initially met with shock and controversy. The raw and confrontational depiction of the female form, along with its departure from traditional aesthetics, challenged the artistic establishment. However, over time, the painting gained recognition as a groundbreaking work that ushered in a new era in the history of art. Les Demoiselles d'Avignon remains a cornerstone of modern art, symbolizing a radical break from the past. Its influence reverberated through the 20th century, inspiring subsequent generations of artists and contributing to the development of various art movements, including Cubism, Surrealism, and Abstract Expressionism. In conclusion, Les Demoiselles d'Avignon stands as a testament to Picasso's revolutionary approach to art. Its impact extends far beyond the canvas, marking a pivotal moment in the evolution of artistic expression and laying the groundwork for the transformative movements that would shape the course of modern art in the 20th century. Albert I, ascending the throne as King of the Belgians. Albert I, born Albert Leopold Clement Marie Meinrad, entered the world on April 8, 1875, as the second son of Prince Philippe, Count of Flanders, and Princess Marie of Hohenzollern. From an early age, Albert exhibited qualities that would later define his reign: intelligence, a sense of duty, and a commitment to public service. Albert received a rigorous education, including military training at the Royal Military Academy in Brussels. His military service played a crucial role in shaping his character, instilling in him a deep respect for discipline and a sense of responsibility toward his nation. Albert's life took an unexpected turn in 1905 when his older brother, Broaden, passed away. This tragedy catapulted Albert into the position of heir to the Belgian throne in 1909, following the death of his uncle, King Leopold II. Albert ascended to the throne as King of the Belgians. On December 23, 1909, Albert I was officially crowned in a solemn ceremony marking the beginning of his reign. The young king faced the challenging task of leading a nation that had undergone significant social and political changes during the preceding decades. Belgium, known for its complex political landscape, required a thoughtful and diplomatic leader. Albert I embraced his role with a focus on unity and stability. His reign saw efforts to bridge divides and address societal issues, earning him respect among the Belgian people. Albert I's most defining moment came during World War I. When Germany invaded Belgium in 1914, Albert led his army in the defense of his nation. His personal bravery and commitment to his people earned him the moniker the Night King. Albert and the Belgian forces played a crucial role in slowing down the German advance and contributing to the overall Allied effort. After the war, Albert I faced the challenging task of rebuilding a war-torn nation. His leadership extended beyond the battlefield to the reconstruction of Belgium, emphasizing reconciliation and rebuilding. King Albert I became a prominent advocate for peace and international cooperation. He played a key role in the establishment of the League of Nations, emphasizing the importance of diplomacy and collaboration in preventing future conflicts. Despite his efforts for peace, tragedy struck in 1930 when King Albert I died in a climbing accident in the Alps. His death was a shock to the nation, and Belgium mourned the loss of a beloved king. His son, Leopold III, succeeded him. Albert I's reign as King of the Belgians marked a period of significant challenges and triumphs. From unexpected ascension to the throne, to the crucible of World War I and the subsequent efforts for peace, Albert I's legacy endures as that of a king who faced adversity with courage, led his nation through turbulent times, and left an indelible mark on the history of Belgium. His commitment to the well-being of his people and his advocacy for peace remain an integral part of his enduring legacy.
In the early 20th century, the world was on the brink of a remarkable transformation in communication. It was a time when technology and ingenuity converged to connect distant shores, revolutionizing the way people shared information across the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean. This is the story of the pioneers who paved the way for transatlantic communication, a tale of determination, innovation, and unwavering commitment. Join us on this journey as we explore the lives of the individuals who made global communication possible, enriching your English language skills along the way. Chapter 1: The Quest for Transatlantic Connection. At the turn of the century, transatlantic communication was a dream that many had contemplated, but few had dared to chase. It was a time when the written word, telegraphs, and cables were the primary means of conveying information across the ocean. The need for a more efficient and faster mode of communication was evident. Section 1: Guglielmo Marconi, the wireless visionary. Guglielmo Marconi, an Italian inventor and engineer, emerged as a pioneer of wireless telegraphy. Born in Bologna, Italy, in 1874, Marconi was captivated by the possibilities of radio waves and their potential for long-distance communication. Marconi's journey began with a simple yet groundbreaking vision to send messages wirelessly across great distances. He conducted a series of experiments, refining the wireless telegraphy system, and in 1901, he successfully transmitted the letter S in Morse code from Poldhu, Cornwall, England, to St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada. This historic achievement marked the birth of transatlantic wireless communication. The world looked on in awe as Marconi's vision unfolded before their eyes. The wireless transmission of messages across the Atlantic Ocean was a feat that defied the limitations of existing communication technologies. It signaled the dawn of a new era in global communication. Marconi's pioneering work not only led to the development of wireless telegraphy, but also laid the foundation for modern radio and television. His legacy endures in the wireless technologies that surround us today. Chapter 2: A Language of Innovation. The quest for transatlantic communication was not merely a technical endeavor. It was a testament to human innovation and a common language that transcended borders. English, as the international language of science and diplomacy, played a central role in this historic pursuit. Section 2: Sir Oliver Lodge bridging the Atlantic divide. Sir Oliver Lodge, a British physicist and inventor, was at the forefront of electrical and electromagnetic research. Born in 1851, Lodge's contributions to the field of physics were nothing short of revolutionary. Lodge's work on the propagation of electromagnetic waves laid the theoretical foundation for the transmission of wireless messages. His innovative ideas, combined with his linguistic skills, allowed him to collaborate with Marconi in realizing the dream of transatlantic wireless communication. Lodge's influential research and expertise contributed significantly to the success of wireless telegraphy. The collaboration between Marconi and Lodge, two individuals from different countries, united by their shared language and passion for science, epitomized the spirit of international cooperation. Together, they transformed the world of communication and demonstrated the power of English as a global language of innovation. Chapter 3: The First Transatlantic Message. The successful transmission of the letter S across the Atlantic Ocean in 1901 was a momentous occasion that captured the world's imagination. It was a testament to human ingenuity and the relentless pursuit of progress. Section 3: The Historic Message We Are. On December 12, 1901, history was made when Marconi and his team embarked on the most ambitious wireless transmission yet. They sent a message from Poldhu, Cornwall, England, to Signal Hill, St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada. The message? We are. These three simple words held profound significance. They were a declaration of human achievement, a testament to the power of innovation, and a promise of future possibilities. The transmission of We Are marked the birth of transatlantic wireless communication, connecting continents in a way that had never been imagined before. The successful transmission of this message was met with jubilation and celebration. The achievement of Marconi, Lodge, and their teams was a triumph of human spirit and innovation, symbolizing the limitless potential of scientific discovery and global collaboration. Chapter 4: The Legacy of Transatlantic Communication. The impact of transatlantic communication extended far beyond the transmission of messages. It revolutionized global commerce, diplomacy, and personal connections. English, as the language of science and international affairs, played a pivotal role in this transformative era. Section 4. The language of progress. English emerged as the lingua franca of international communication, enabling individuals from diverse linguistic backgrounds to collaborate and exchange ideas. It became the language of progress, connecting scientists, inventors, and diplomats in a shared pursuit of innovation. Transatlantic communication not only revolutionized business and trade, but also fostered cultural exchange and understanding. It opened doors to international diplomacy, bridging the gap between nations and promoting cooperation in an increasingly interconnected world. The legacy of this era endures in the continued importance of English as a global language. English serves as a bridge for international discourse and a common language of innovation, scientific research, and diplomacy. Conclusion: the power of connection. The pioneers of transatlantic communication, including Guglielmo Marconi and Sir Oliver Lodge, defied the limitations of their time to connect distant shores. Their visionary work transformed the world of communication, ushering in an era of global connection and understanding. As you learn English through this story, pay attention to the rich vocabulary, idiomatic expressions, and conversational skills used to convey the achievements, emotions, and collaborative spirit of these pioneering individuals. This extended narrative not only offers language enrichment, but also provides valuable insights into the profound impact of innovation, global cooperation, and the enduring importance of English as a language of progress. The story of transatlantic communication in 1901 is a testament to the power of human ingenuity, innovation, and collaboration. It is a reminder of the boundless potential of language and technology to connect the world, transcending geographical boundaries and fostering a sense of unity and progress. Through this narrative, you not only improve your English language skills, but also gain a deeper appreciation for the pioneers who shaped the way we communicate and understand one another in our modern world.
Beneath the Hudson, connecting horizons. In the early 20th century, the burgeoning urban centers on either side of the Hudson River faced a common challenge: efficient transportation across the river. As the demand for travel and trade grew, a solution emerged in the form of the Hudson River Railroad Tube. The concept of a railroad tube beneath the Hudson River took shape as engineers envisioned a groundbreaking transportation link between New York City and New Jersey. The project aimed not only to streamline commuter traffic, but also to facilitate the movement of goods and foster economic growth. Building a railroad tube beneath a major river presented formidable engineering challenges. Engineers had to devise innovative solutions for tunneling through the riverbed, while ensuring the safety and stability of the structure. The project demanded meticulous planning and coordination to overcome the geological obstacles posed by the river's depths. On February 25, 1909, the Hudson River Railroad tube was officially completed and opened to the public. The twin-tube system allowed for trains to travel between Manhattan and Hoboken, providing a swift and reliable transportation link. The grand unveiling marked a historic moment in the evolution of urban infrastructure and transportation networks. The completion of the Hudson River Railroad tube had a transformative effect on commuting patterns and trade activities. Commuters now had a more efficient means of traversing the Hudson River, reducing travel time and enhancing connectivity between the two states. Additionally, the improved transportation infrastructure facilitated the movement of goods, contributing to the economic development of the region. The construction of the railroad tube also showcased technological advancements in tunneling and engineering. The use of innovative construction methods and materials paved the way for future projects, influencing the evolution of subaqueous tunneling techniques. The Hudson River Railroad tube left an enduring legacy, serving as a model for subsequent transportation infrastructure projects over the years. The tube underwent upgrades and expansions to meet the growing demands of a dynamic and expanding metropolitan region. The completion of the Hudson River Railroad tube in 1909 stands as a testament to human ingenuity and the relentless pursuit of progress. This engineering marvel not only addressed immediate transportation needs, but also laid the foundation for the continued development of urban infrastructure, connecting horizons and fostering economic vitality for generations to come. A revolution in science. Albert Einstein's theory of special relativity. In the early 20th century, the world of physics was on the brink of a revolution. Scientific paradigms were about to be shattered, and one man stood at the center of this impending transformation: Albert Einstein. His groundbreaking work on the theory of special relativity would forever change the way we perceive the universe. Albert Einstein was born in Ulm, Germany, in 1879. From a young age, he displayed an extraordinary aptitude for mathematics and physics. However, his early education was marred by conflicts with authority figures, and he often felt like a rebellious outsider. Despite these challenges, Einstein persevered. He enrolled at the Polytechnic Institute in Zurich, Switzerland, and graduated in 1900. After graduation, he struggled to find employment, working briefly as a tutor and a patent examiner. It was during this period of introspection and intellectual exploration that he began formulating the ideas that would eventually